trying to make that change, trying to get that paper. You know what I'm saying, man? If you ain't got no paper, you ain't shit. You got to get that paper, man. I'm trying to get mines. I'm trying to get mines. And you know, we live in a society where that's the most important thing, getting yours. Because if you don't have yours, let's just keep it honest. Without money, you can't pay your bills. You can't feed your family. You can't eat. You can't clothe yourself. You can't house yourself. You can't live without money. If you get sick, you have no money, you don't get good health care. You get cheap emergency care. You'll die essentially. So you have to have money. Money is very, very important. Money in this society is our God. It's the most important thing that we have. So, money, but what is money? It's been said by philosophers that money is the root of all evil. Some people say that, but actually, there's a quote in the Bible, Timothy 6:10, that says, "The love of money is the root of all evil." While some, well, let me read this again. Let me get this quote right. "For the love of money is the root of all evil, which, while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through its many sorrows." So people generations ago, people thousands of years ago, talked about the love and the desire to have it. But what is money? Money simply is a form of exchange, right? A long time ago, people would have maybe 10 goats and someone else had 5 cows or whatever. They needed a goat. This person needed a cow. So they would trade that way, but the trades weren't necessarily one-to-one. So they needed a unit or a form so people could trade amongst themselves to be able to purchase goods and services that they needed in the Western society. Because understand, in some societies, you lived in a communal form where money wasn't needed. People lived in a community and you worked as a community to get things and you shared as a community. We moved into a system where you had to have money. You had rulers, you had hierarchy, and your hierarchy was determined by how much money you had. Your importance was determined by how much money you had, and money was the unit for that. So money became a sense of esteem for people, a sense of power, and people desire that money so they could have a higher standing in the community, tribe, village, kingdom that they lived in. When you think about money, it's just a tool, right? It's not real. In our case, it's a piece of paper with some old dead guys on it, right? Or, some coins, some baubles, some trinkets with some old people on it. In Canada, country I lived in, they had a duck on one of theirs. They have like the Queen or whatever from England, but they also have a duck on their coins as well. So what is it? All throughout history, it's always just been some trinket. It's something that we all agree upon. So in and of itself, it's just a tool. It's just there. But the crux of it is what it means and what we desire as a people, especially in Western civilization. We desire power, prestige, control, and influence. As a man, we love all those. And we also know that money can bring us women. And we like that as well. At least most of us do. But we desire women as well. Women. So if you don't have any money, I guarantee you your chances of finding a mate have lowered greatly. So, what about power? What is power? One, power is attractive to the opposite sex. Power is also the ability to tell others what to do and have them bend to your will. To have them cater to what you want. To have them do for you what you want them to do. To have them worship you, to to have them grovel beneath your feet. And see, a lot of people don't say they desire that, but you do. You want to seem important. You want to seem influential. And money gives you that prestige and power. Think about the people you see at the top of a company, or people that own their own businesses, which I think is great. I think you should be the master of your own domain. You should own your own business, be your own boss. But I digress. What I'm talking about now is, think about the people that you know that have that. They enjoy, trust me, they might not say it. Some of them may act humble, others don't. But they enjoy the fact that you kiss their ass. They enjoy the fact that you give them what they want. It's very fun to go out and have women throw themselves at you and have men grovel for you and say, oh, Mr. So-and-so, you're so this. Oh, Mr. So-and-so, you're so that. People love that. Come on. It gives you control. Money gives you, the more money you have, the more control you have of your situation, which I think is good in this case, because if you have money, you're free to do the things you want to do. You know, you have control over your life. You don't have to get up at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock, go to a job, listen to what someone has to say, and have them dictate to you what's important, how you should spend most of your day in the work that you do. To compensate your time or to monopolize your time in that way. See, money gives you those things, and those things that we desire. But let's talk about what we really want to do in this country. Think about it for a second. Why do we desire money as much as we do? What's the root cause behind it? Why do we have a system where most of you suffer in the pursuit of money? Most of you don't make much money. Most of you don't live like the top 1% or the top 0.1% or 0.01% lives, the guys that rule. You don't live that way. See, most of us work for companies, whether they be large or small. And this is how it works. You have your low-end workers, right? The worker bees, the guys that actually go in there, guys and gals, I guess, go in there and get stuff done, right? The lower levels. Then you have middle management. Those are the guys that are a little bit above you, and their job is to make sure you guys are working in line, you guys produce more and more each quarter, and you guys don't enjoy yourself or lollygag, and they put pressure on top of you. That's their job, to make sure they keep you in line. Their job is similar if you go back to the old plantation, because corporations are similar to plantations, of the overseer that they had. Their job is to make sure they keep the slaves in line. And that's what they do. That's their power. And let me tell you something. They make a little bit more than you, and they feel good. Not just about the money they make, but about the power that they hold and how they can make you bend to their will. See, it's more than just money. It's about prestige. It's about power. It's about people trying to feel good about themselves. And people in this society, and this is what people don't tell you about, people feel good about themselves vis-a-vis their position in comparison to you. See, the love of money is more than just having money to take care of yourself and your family. It's about me having money and you not having money. It's about me being better than you. And money's the way to decide that. As kids, as a boy, we competed by who was, I don't know, the best athlete. Sometimes who was the smartest kid. Which kid could defend himself physically the best. A lot of kids failed in that. Especially a lot of those kids who now you see the top CEOs, a lot of them probably weren't, but now they have something. It's money. And they use that, and they have that power. And they want to use that and get their ego kicks off of that. So that's what they have. That's middle management. After middle management, what do you go to? You go to, what is it, upper management? Their job is to do the same thing. They're the overseers of the overseers. Their job is to make sure profits are higher. And to do that, they put pressure on the middle management, who in turn puts pressure on the people that actually do the work. Then what's next? You have the executive branch. Same job. Same job. They sit back and they put pressure on the guys that put pressure on the guys that put pressure on the people that actually do the work. And then you have the board. Those are the people that are privileged. Their job is to oversee and make sure the executives are doing their job, to come up with objectives of where the business wants to go, and to rake in large sums of profit. Because those are your shareholders. Those are the people that don't do any work. The ones that had the initial investments in the company, put the money up for the company, and now they don't work at all. They just benefit from your work. Essentially a leech. But since they have the ownership, it's great. Now here's the thing that's funny. That's true. And if you're a regular worker, you pay a payroll tax, right? The government taxes a piece of your check at the rate of how much you make. If you're one of the shareholders who doesn't work, you just get dividend checks from profit from what the company makes, you get taxed at a rate that's probably half of what the lowest end employee makes at your company. And that's fair, they say. Why? Because see, the rich get richer and the poor stay poor. These things are true. Some of you know this, most of you don't. But this is the system you live in. This is the system that rewards money and power. Let me tell you how the system works, and something that you don't see. A lot of you don't see. Some of you do. A lot of you don't see this. How do they stay at the position of power that they do? The people at top. How do they keep this money? Because you have accepted their system. You're okay with it. Most of you know intuitively that you're being ripped off by the system. Most of you know that all the money in politics that buys politicians buys favorable opinions for the rich, the powerful, and the corporations. But you accept it. Most of you know that all the system work. You know that your CEO makes about 400 to 500 times the average employee makes at the company, when before it was like 20 times as much, and you accept it. You allow it to happen. You're okay with being a virtual slave in this system. You're okay with it. But why? Why do you accept that? Why do you accept rich people buying influence in your government and changing the rules that benefit them? Rules that not only benefit them, but make it harder for you to move from whether you're poor or middle class up into the upper class ranks as them. Why is this? You know, if you watch the news, it's real simple. Other people have said this. You got billionaires hiring millionaires to convince middle class people the reason why they're not rich is because of poor people. When it's really the people that are the billionaire class that's making you poor, or that's making you middle class. They're the ones that have been oppressing you for years. You want to know why the system's wrong? What's wrong with the system? Look at the people benefiting from it. If you ain't one of them benefiting from it, then you're the victim and they're the victor. Be smart. You're stupid not to think that. Just stupid. System's rigged. Of course it is for the top. Everybody knows this. You have to be a fool not to know this. That's why someone like Donald Trump can be somewhat popular right now, because people know that something's wrong. They know something's wrong. They should have known that a long time ago. It's always been this way. You can't keep doing the same thing and expect that. Think about it. This guy Donald Trump is a fool, essentially, in some of the stuff he says. He's funny. It's entertaining to see people like Bush get picked on, because normally they don't know, people treat them as if they're royalty. It's fun to see. It makes you laugh. But at the end of the day, people understand that the system is biased and that the rich people own it and they have power and control. Everybody knows this. But why is the system continue? A lot of people say, well, it's because of, there's a network of the rich that control everything, and they do this and they do that. That could or couldn't be true. I don't know. But I will say this. It's pretty easy why a system continues. It's because the majority of you accept it. See, the majority of you like this system. That's why you worship celebrities. That's why you kiss the ass of celebrities and the rich and the powerful. You kiss their ass. You give them power. Think about it when you go back to high school or before, when you're younger. Why were the popular kids popular? Because you kissed their ass. That's why they were popular. Because you thought they were great. That's why they were popular. They weren't popular because of anything special. It's because you lifted them up to that status. Then they had power. The power came from you, and you're the one that they oppressed, dummy.